Hey, you know what it is. Welcome to the stream. Brrr. Welcome, welcome. Fuck, I hate being in the cave. That was scary because I wasn't gonna get my base down. Hey, welcome to the stream. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome. Getting a base set up. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're having a nice day. Just doing a fresh wipe. You know what it is. I wanna go some. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my. I only got 10 arrows. I need to make stone. I need to make a pickaxe so I can get stone. I forgot it. But I love about 2x though. No, it's called a freaking rock. I always search up stone. Plus, I needed that food. I'm gonna go to it. Oh yeah, I see that. Oh my fuck, I'm almost dead because of that. First of all, abandoned cabin. I see that crate. I think I see it. Not too sure. I know the crate's somewhere on this island. I don't think I'm gonna get that crate, guys. I'm so salty I didn't get that freaking crate, man. I'll check up here maybe one last time. Maybe it's on the beach. One shot. Ôi.
say follow.
You're back, boss.
Has been declining significantly. We know your growth has been slowing down. So is it time for you to quit Facebook gaming? Is it time to just quit streaming there and go to greener pastures? You're gonna go back to Mixer? Are ya? Are ya? Don't do it. We're gonna tell you what you should do with Facebook gaming and what you should not in this episode of the Digital Drop Podcast. Let's go, baby. This podcast is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform?
Couple streams, and then as of, let's say, late August, everything just started going downhill at a pretty exponential rate. So I'm pretty much discouraged from even being on Facebook gaming right now because it requires a lot of attention that the other platforms do not. The algorithm seems to be messing with everybody, whereas, you know, I could go over to Twitch exclusively and not even have to deal with an algorithm. Or maybe I want to play a different game for once. If I try that on Facebook gaming, well, we all know that I'm just going to be screwed on that one, because if you switch games on Facebook gaming, the algorithm says, no, that's bad, Ross. You can't do that. So convince me, why do I need to stay on here, Perrin? What is it that is keeping you locked into Facebook gaming that I need to take a lesson from?
Okay, so first of all, you're falling into the same creator trap that I would say 99% of creators fall into, and you're looking for reasons to quit. Stop. Stop.
He's trying so hard to quit. He's like, wah, algorithm, wah.
You're looking for every reason to say it's not my fault that I'm bad at this. It's not my fault that I'm not doing well. And that, you know, honestly, that's the only criteria in the equation that is going to affect anything here. Is Facebook gaming going crazy right now? Sure. But should you give up based off of XYZ factors? Hell no, don't give up. Like, all right, here's what I'm running into. Last week I had a stream on Facebook gaming where I had one viewer. One. I have had streams where I have peaks of like almost 300 or more. And then yesterday I had a stream where randomly I had a peak of 273. It's maddening how volatile it is. And despite my knowledge and how much I've studied it, I have no explanation for that one yet. I just don't. And that's frustrating. But am I going to give up saying, did I give up on that stream where it's like one concurrent viewer? No. We have, as creators, we have this grass is always greener syndrome. This is what I call it, where everything always looks shinier everywhere else except for the place that you're on. And Facebook gaming, the truth about it is, if you look at it from a macro perspective and you take all this volatility away, is that there's still organic growth to be had on the platform. It's just really hard to isolate and understand why, and it can be frustrating, but it's there, and there's no other platform where that exists currently. So should you be getting off Facebook gaming? I'm going to answer the stream title really quickly here. No, don't. But there is a lot of trouble happening here. AWOL, what have you been noticing here? What's your take on this? Am I right? Am I hitting a nail here?
Whiny, whiny, whiny Ross, always whining about Facebook gaming. So yeah, I've been coaching creators now for 10 years, and I've done the same thing too, where when things start to slow down, your expectations as you're growing go up, 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 up. And so the bar of what you expect to hit as a creator continues to go up along the way. It's the same thing in anything in life. If you're working a job today where you're making $10 an hour, or you were working a job 5 years ago where you're making $10 an hour, and today you're making $100 an hour. If you get a new job and you're only making 50, you're going to say, man, I'm barely making any money. This job is crap. I should quit, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is you've made a lot of progress from the starting line in this analogy of $10 an hour to 50. Even if it's not the maximum that you hit at one point of 100, you're still making progress. You're still ahead of where you were. And so don't throw out all of the progress that you've made in terms of growing in anything in life, but in Facebook gaming in particular, because growth slowed down a little bit. We've done tons and tons of analysis episodes on all of these platforms, as you guys remember, and they all do, and as platforms mature, they get wobbly in terms of their results. They get wobbly in terms of their concurrent viewership. YouTube in particular is one of those cases as well. And so what you need to keep in mind is that Facebook, as a mature platform now, is going to be wobbling up and down. You're going to be getting organic that's a bunch here, a little bit there, and it's going to be volatile because it is an algorithm-based platform. And so don't throw out all of the progress that you've made because the growth slowed down. That is the number one way to fail. And I think a lot of the time people look at their numbers and they see them in the red and it makes them disheartened. I can understand that. That totally makes sense to me. But what you have to keep in mind is that your numbers may go down for 1 month, 3 months, maybe even an entire year before they go back up. And so what you have to do is diversify not only the type of content you're making, the platforms you're making it on, and how you're making revenue. So that when one thing kind of starts to fall short, you can then put your energy into those other things as well, so that you feel like you're making progress and you feel like you're moving forward. And that's why we're always talking about diversification. So if you put all of your eggs just in the Facebook gaming basket, whenever you look at your numbers and they're looking red, you're going to feel like quitting. But what if you had it in the Facebook gaming and Twitch and YouTube basket, and you weren't just relying on revenue from Facebook gaming, you were also looking at revenue on Patreon and looking at revenue through sponsorships and looking at revenue through merchandise? All of a sudden, you're only looking at one thing out of 6 that you're working on that's maybe slowing down. And you may have 2 things that you're working on out of 6 that are speeding up. That can help you keep the motivation going. So diversification not only helps your business, it helps your motivation. You know what I'm saying, boys?
I know what you're saying. I'm going to kind of build off a question that we've got in chat here. Speaking specifically to Facebook gaming, let's say that I've been streaming a game that was really popular for a year, and now the game just died. How is it worth it to continue on Facebook gaming, knowing, even though everything you just said, knowing that me playing on Facebook gaming is not going to do any benefit whatsoever? The algorithm doesn't care for me at all. How do you create exclusive content for one platform while you're still on restreaming on every other platform, especially a platform like Facebook gaming that, doesn't like me?
Facebook gaming. So, I mean, you put out a lot of things there that I don't think there's any way to actually concretely know for sure. Like you're saying, you're streaming a game that is dying. The algorithm won't treat you, and you're not going to get any views off of it, etc. First of all, the chance of you concretely knowing that 100% are not true. And I know. Let's say, okay, the game is dying. There's a lot of cases where you can stream or make content for a dying game, and it has something that will bring back life to it. Like that's where you do carving out a niche. Carving out a niche is good, and it is finding a smaller game that has a diminishing community. It's easier to find new eyeballs onto your content, so you could actually pick up more concurrent viewers or more loyal viewers from that. I'm trying to think of what would be a good example of it. Actually, even Mobile Legends right now. Mobile Legends is declining.
Well, new patches, new content, new
Exactly.
updates, new esports events, that all breathes new life into old games.
Like one of the strategies of great creators is going into something and streaming the thing that no one else wants to stream at the time. Let's take Diablo 3 for example. Diablo 3 had this period of time where, you know, even now is actually a good time where like no one cares about it at all. No one does. Guess what? There's still people streaming it. Guess what? Those people are probably growing because everybody else knows to stay away from Diablo 3 because no one cares anymore. But guess what? There are still people that care. And it's the streamers that understand that, hey, when everyone says that no one cares and everyone abandons and jumps ship, there are still people out there that care. And if you're that streamer that's there for them, you're going to find loyal viewers. So
I like that.
So there's strategies, there are little meta strategies in these areas where there's weakness and things look bleak. And as a streamer and as a creator, you guys have to pick up on being creative about problem solving those areas. So in Facebook gaming, let's say the algorithm's not treating you, you're not getting any traction whatsoever. I mean, change the game. Just change the game on Facebook gaming until you find something. That's a case where changing your game is great because you're already not getting any traction, so you have nothing to lose. What the problem with Facebook gaming is whenever you have traction and you change, and then you have something to lose. In which case, I would say if you want to stream different games, if you're multi-streaming, you know, just don't stream on Facebook gaming that day. That seems, I think in prior episodes I said that could hurt, but I think the verdict is still out on that. Like, test that and see how that works for you. Sometimes taking a break. I took I didn't stream on Facebook gaming for 4 or 5 days this past weekend. I didn't stream Thursday, Friday, and over the weekend. I came back on Monday, had really high peak concurrence. I hadn't streamed for like 5 days. There's no content on my channel on Facebook gaming for 5 days, and I streamed. Now that's just one instance. I don't know exactly why that was the case. I can't really isolate or give you why, but my point is test these things and don't assume that something is dying so you shouldn't cover it. Sometimes something's dying so you should cover it. Anthem is a great example, AWOL. You were in on Anthem. Does this apply to something like that? Do you think?
Yeah, I can talk about that. So
yeah.
I don't know if Anthem is the best example. Well, there is an Anthem example. So there is a couple creators for a dying game or a dead game called Anthem that are still making content for the game. And they're getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views covering the development of Anthem Next. Everybody else dropped Anthem. All the big creators were covering Anthem. It was the big thing. They all crapped on it and they all left. And so now there's a vacuum where there's still hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people still interested in Anthem as a topic. There's a vacuum in terms of the amount of supply in the market for content around the game, but the demand is still relatively high for it. And so the people still covering the development of Anthem Next are getting big views off of it, and they're primed up to capitalize on when Anthem Next launches. And so these such channels that stuck with it and are getting these sort of hype views for people that are loyalists to the franchise when maybe 90% of the people dropped off, when they stream the launch of the game when it relaunches, they're going to be getting more than 1,000 concurrent viewers when it drops on their YouTube channel. They are primed up for that. The same thing is the case with the Star Wars Battlefront community, another example for you guys to think about. The Battlefront games recently have all launched, have had massive criticism. 90% of the industry covered it, and then they all left, leaving just a handful of YouTubers left to cover the game. And guess what? When they make videos about the game, they get tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of views. And when they stream the game, they still get 500, 1,000, 1,500 concurrent viewers because they stuck with the game that they loved. And once everybody else left, it's always, always, always a game of supply and demand. So going back and covering classic games, going back and covering dead games, particularly on YouTube, actually, can help you grow an audience for them. And then whenever you're streaming them, you can tell people in your YouTube videos, go watch me here, wherever that is, when I'm streaming the game, and they'll go watch you stream it because you're one of the only streamers and you're one of the only people that are bringing them content about a game that's quote unquote dead. That's a huge opportunity to build a niche. Don't only focus on the big games. For those of you out there that are looking to just stream and win, it just doesn't work. You can't just stream and win on Facebook gaming. It's not going to work. You can get some audience growth by streaming on Facebook gaming. And in particular, if you restream as a part of Facebook gaming and drive that traffic to somewhere like Twitch, that can work. But you can't only stream video games and grow. It's not going to work. And if that's your plan, just quit. it's not going to work. I'm sorry. You're basically hoping to scratch off the lottery card and be the one guy that wins $1 million today. So if you want to grow, you need to build the YouTube channel along with your streaming strategy, and then it can work for you. And then you can stream those games and potentially restream them. And Ross, aren't we sponsored by some company that rhymes with restream, or maybe supports something that is like restreaming?
We are actually sponsored by Restream, and like we're talking about right here, these guys, Facebook Gaming. Even if you don't know what's going to happen, have your backup plan in place with YouTube and Twitch. You can do that with Restream. You just log in, connect all the accounts, hit go live, and the next thing you know, you're live on all the accounts. And it's also got a built-in chat that collects all the chats from every single account, so you can still communicate with everybody on every platform using Restream.io. Now, I think Perrin kind of summed up this episode very, very nicely. And I think the quote of the day is, if everybody is abandoning ship, that means the captain's seat is open. So maybe don't
I
jump
like that
overboard.
analogy. Yeah, that's
don't
good.
Jump
That's
overboard.
good. Yeah.
So this has been eye-opening, to say the least. I feel a little bit more comfortable streaming on Facebook Gaming. I think there are still some general concerns, though, most notably the future of Facebook Gaming. Not knowing where we are now does not bode well for trying to figure out where it's going in the future. Is there any motivating or any signs of inspiration you can give me on this one?
I mean, if we look at all of the other examples in the past of platforms that have organic growth, we know what the future is going to be in Facebook Gaming. We already know, and all of you already know, it's going to be gone. Eventually, it's gone. Eventually, this platform will be like every other platform. It'll be like Instagram, where it's really, really hard to get noticed now. It'll be like Twitter, where there's very little growth to be had. We know the end game. We see this on every platform, so we know what it's going to be. You already know. But what are you going to do about it now, while it's not like that? And just because it gets like that at some point doesn't mean that there isn't a way to leverage that platform in a useful way for your strategy. But the key thing is it has to be a part of the strategy and not the entirety of it. Your whole strategy shouldn't be, let's go all in, baby, on Facebook Gaming, because it's just not going to work. And I think you all know that by now. So what's your strategy? What part does Facebook Gaming have to play? And for how long does it have to play it? That would be my question for all of you to think about, because you know where this is going to be eventually. You know how they all end up eventually. And what will you have gotten out of it at that point?
That makes sense. One thing I'd like to bring up. So volatility is what causes people, like we mentioned earlier, to want to quit. The ups and the downs makes you feel like you want to quit because it's not up, up, up. And so the volatility is built into Facebook Gaming. It's been there since day one in the golden days of Facebook Gaming. It's there today, as Perrin just mentioned. He went from 1 viewer to 200 and whatever out of nowhere. And I know all of you in the audience have seen this volatility too. So you should be driving traffic to a place that has less volatility. We're going to keep plugging this. Perrin came up with the genius idea that algorithms are actually not that great for a home base for your streaming. And so that's why Perrin has been driving traffic over to his Twitch stream. I've been doing the same. If you don't mind pulling mine up, I'm doing daily live streams on Twitch, free coaching for creators, live streamers, and everyone who wants to go full-time as a creator on Twitch. I just started pumping these out yesterday, and the growth is already there. Some of you from the Digital Drop have come by. I'll post a link in chat. Come follow me if you want free coaching. But the point of this is, all of my YouTube videos, all of my other restreams I'm doing, all of my clips, all of that for AWOL Gaming on Twitch, they're going to all be driving to this Twitch avenue, because ultimately I need to be somewhere that is algorithmless, and I need to be somewhere that has way less volatility. And just as an example, on Twitch yesterday, when I had viewers coming by the stream, they stayed on average for like 30 to 45 minutes. Now, everybody who's on Facebook Gaming, does your average viewer stick around for 30 to 45 minutes? Obviously not. And so that decrease in volatility, that increase in stability, will make you a lot more motivated to stream, to build audience, and maybe to go longer on your streams, maybe to make more content. So you don't have those crazy fluctuations when you're streaming on something like Twitch and you get one viewer one day and 200 and whatever the next day.
You're onto something. So this is, I just want to butt in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
This has saved my sanity. Exactly what you're talking about. I've had days, like the day where I had one viewer on Facebook Gaming, I'm like, what is going on?
It's
But
so frustrating, right? It's crazy.
It was frustrating, but I felt
Yeah.
okay because that day I had 40 on Twitch. And I'm like, oh, that's really good for Twitch. So I don't mind so much because Twitch is doing great right now. So you have this thing, because you spread it out the love a little bit, you know, when one is feeling some pain, the other one can kind of hard carry you and help level out your sanity and help you feel like, okay, things are going okay. I don't need to panic and freak out about this, because it is anxiety inducing and it can make you kind of knee jerk react to like, obviously something went wrong. That's not the case. Chill, you know, and it's nice to have a different platform, you know, picking up the slack now and then.
That totally makes sense. So Ross, have we convinced you at all that Facebook gaming is okay and that it's a part of a larger strategy and it's not just going to be your entire life and your ticket out of that 9 to 5 that you hate? Do you feel confident? Do you have anything else that's kind of in there that is holding you back from believing what we're telling you?
I actually feel very confident right now. I'm actually going to stop whining now that I know that Facebook gaming is only supposed to be part of a bigger strategy. That actually makes a lot more sense now. Now, I'm still not convinced that I'm the problem at all, because I'm never a problem. But I like where we're going with this conversation. I like the idea of including Facebook gaming in something bigger and not focusing entirely on it.
Makes sense. I got to rant here really quick.
Ooh.
I got to do a quick rant. Anytime, audience, and this happens in my coaching all the time. Anytime you find yourself blaming the platform, it's actually you that's the problem. Anytime you see yourself blaming the algorithm, it's actually you that's the problem. Anytime you start blaming other creators for making clickbait, it's you that's the problem. Anytime you're blaming other people for doing clickbait titles, it's you that's the problem. If anybody is ever doing giveaways or creative marketing strategies and you're saying that's fake stream or that's gaming the system, it's you that's the problem. You're the reason you're not growing. So take responsibility, and as soon as you do, you're going to start seeing your numbers going to be incredibly difficult to grow in 2021. We've got everything you need to know, from all of the growth strategies, all of the creative elements you need to be doing on your streams on Facebook gaming, as well as how you can actually make enough money to go full time as a gaming content creator. How do we know how to do this? We've actually got somebody on board right now who is a full-time Facebook gaming streamer who's going to show you their secrets. And we're also going to teach you bonus items like how to grow a YouTube channel, how to make those killer thumbnails and titles, the sorts of strategies that go behind that are going to give you the edge in 2021 versus the hundreds of thousands of other streamers you're competing against on Facebook gaming. Stay tuned all the way to the end for that power tip at the end. Ross, I'm counting on you to give us the power tip. You better come up with it right now. Let's pay the bills. I'm counting on you to give us the power tip. You better come up with it right now.
Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences fast?
Hey, welcome guys. How are you doing today? Streaming some Rust. Rust to Dust. Join my friends there. Hey, welcome, guys. You know what it is. Puti madre. Uno momento.
streaming platform you want to link, and for viewers.
Hmm.